Hello, hi, I'm Jo. I have no idea why I'm making this video, but there's been something on my mind for several weeks now, and so clearly it's not going to leave my mind unless I talk about it, so here we are. So this was sparked by a comment that I left on a video by Bookish. This is not about that video, and I'm not trying to reignite or add to any booktube drama whatsoever. Essentially, the discussion that I was having in the comments was the perception from certain smaller booktube communities about big booktubers, about what kind of videos they make, what kinds of books they read, how legit they are, that sort of thing. And I completely understand from a lot of small booktubers' perspectives the issue. Generally, to make it big on YouTube at all, and booktube is no exception, you need to be at least marginally conventionally attractive. Young is good. You need to have really good production quality and preferably a lot of disposable income in order to have an aesthetic backdrop and to buy things to put in your videos. For booktubers, often books, new releases preferably, and I think that that is definitely a problem because it makes the barrier of entry very high, and that is elitist and gross. And I think it is really, really great that there are corners of booktube where that is not the case. But something that I have seen discussed a lot in those corners of booktube is the idea that these are YA booktubers. And I'm sure that that is kind of just a shorthand that has developed that makes it easier to say. I don't know why it's easier to say than big booktubers. I don't know. But to give the benefit of the doubt, then I would say that it has just become a convenient shorthand. But not giving the benefit of the doubt, I would say that it is an easy way to dismiss a certain category of person, often the same one that I described, conventionally attractive, young, vast majority female as far as booktube goes. And so I find that concerning, discounting anything that is popular because young women are into it. You know, I don't have any skin in this game. I am obviously not a big booktuber by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm not making this to be oh, these poor, conventionally attractive YouTubers with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Obviously they're fine. But it's not about them, it's about the dismissal of them. So I'm just going to have a bunch of videos, screen recordings up here, going through some big booktubers that I know of or am subscribed to or just see around that do not read exclusively or even primarily YA. Most of these people do not primarily read YA, maybe here and there. Most of them read, contemporary, which I understand may also not be small booktubers' cups of tea, but also literary. Several of these people read almost exclusively literary fiction, the same books that show up on small booktube. A lot of classics readers. Most of these people read very, very widely, and to say YA booktubers, to me, says that you looked at the person and you decided what they were reading. So just, I don't know, I guess my point here is look at these thumbnails, look at the people in the thumbnails, and honestly ask yourself whether you would have been open to watching their videos regardless of what they were reading. And I would say that for many small booktubers, the answer is no. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. If you don't want to watch big booktubers, then, don't watch big booktubers. If you only are interested in watching channels where you are guaranteed to get a response to a comment, then probably big booktubers are not the way to go. Although I have definitely gotten responses to comments on these people's videos. But you're not watching these people because they read YA. Because they don't. you're not watching them for a different reason, and I just would like people to think about what that reason is and be honest with yourself and with everyone about why it is. And I'm not saying that you need to watch them. I mean, you can see who I'm subscribed to on here. It is only some of these. Again, this is not a reactionary thing where I'm like coming to these people's defense. They don't need me to come to their defense. Almost all of these people have more than 100,000 subscribers. They don't need me, but I just... the whole premise of discounting young, attractive female readers seemingly because they are young and attractive and popular and women or femme, I don't like it. I don't like it. And what good is having a YouTube channel which you spend hours and hours and hours on if you can't rant once in a while? Again, this is not me calling anyone out. This is not me trying to start drama. It's just something I had on my mind. So if you have any thoughts, definitely leave them in the comments and I will be happy to discuss. Thanks!